Hi, I'm Jean Gille. This is Gould's School, North Caldwell, New Jersey. These second and third graders are discussing a moral issue, promises, making, keeping, and sometimes having to break them. Discussing a moral issue, I know what you're going to say. Can children at this age discuss?
So what if she's going to break her promise? At least she's saving the kitten's life.
But it isn't hers.
So what?
So what? She's going to get in trouble.
No, she won't.
No, she won't.
Harold, the kitten's life.
The cat isn't hers. She shouldn't worry about it. It's not her problem.
Then she'll feel real bad in her mind because she's hurt somebody else's feelings.
No, if she doesn't climb a tree, she won't be thinking of it. What if it stays up the tree and nobody lets it down? It'll die up in the tree.
Okay, Kathy, what you gonna say about that?
I think my children can discuss moral issues. I think they know that discuss means giving reasons for your opinions, listening to what others have to say, and withholding judgment until you hear enough good reasons to make up your mind. What is the teacher's role in teaching values? Well, that depends on the teacher and the class. I try to create an atmosphere of free discussion in which moral development can take place. But let's go back to the beginning. We're going to look at a film strip now about a little girl who has a problem. She's made a promise to her father, and she doesn't know whether she can keep the promise. She wants to help her friends, but she remembers what she said to her father. Now you all watch, and then we'll try to help her decide what to do. I showed a film strip that dramatized a moral issue important to children of this age. It was about a little girl who promised her father never to climb trees, but her friend's kitten gets stuck way up in a tree, and she's the only one who can save it. What should she do? When the film strip ends, my work begins. After a few questions for the class as a whole, I divide the class into small discussion groups. It seems to me that small discussion groups give the children a better opportunity to express themselves freely. Remember, in a circle so that you can see each other, so you can really talk to each other. Mostly, I try to teach my children to teach themselves, to give and demand reasons for opinions, to listen to each other, and to ask good questions. I move from group to group, listening for the different stages of moral reasoning, listening for problems that might develop, and listening for especially good reasons I want the other children to be aware of. I also listen for children who are undecided.
Well, she's not really breaking a promise exactly because she's saving a kitten's life, and it's a lot better than just one word, promise.
Well, I still think that she shouldn't break a promise because the cat is not hers and she doesn't have a thing to do with it.
You know, I'm kind of in the middle now because I don't know if she should break her promise or keep her promise because she's saving a kitten's life, and also nobody else is going to trust her.
It's hard for children to withhold judgment, and I like to teach them that it's okay to be unsure. The undecided child remains open to better reasoning, and the others sometimes make a contest of convincing with better and better reasons. I listen for different stages of moral reasoning. Remember the discussion you heard earlier? Listen to it again. You'll discover that Nicole shows a stage 1 concern for punishment, while Harold and Jerry show higher stage reasoning.
So what if she's going to break her promise? At least she's saving the kitten's life.
But it isn't hers.
So what?
So what? She's gonna get in trouble.
No, she won't.
No, she won't.
Harold, the kitten's life.
The cat isn't hers. She shouldn't worry about it. It's not her problem.
Then she'll feel real bad in her mind because she'd hurt somebody else's feelings.
No, if she doesn't climb a tree, she won't be thinking of it.
What if it stays up the tree and nobody lets it down? It'll die up in the tree.
Okay, Kathy, what you gonna say about that?
Sometimes the hardest part of listening is knowing when to keep quiet. In letting the children ask their own questions, I'm less likely to interrupt the flow of their discussion. But I'm always ready to step in with a few well-placed questions to see if I can even the sides and strengthen the conflict. Conflict about what's right is essential if moral development is to take place.
Well,
Which side are you on?
we're on the side that you should break the promise.
But how's her father going to feel if she breaks her promise?
But how is the father gonna know?
She's not really breaking a promise exactly because she's saving a kitten's life.
But why did Holly's father make her promise not to climb trees?
Because
Because she might get hurt.
but if she's with Catholic, God will help her. If she doesn't,
I'm not Catholic. God always helps me.
well, if you're Jewish, she won't get help.
Well, I'm Jewish. And that's the truth.
Too bad.
I believe that moral values come from within the child, but that doesn't mean I have to accept all his conclusions. I think as a teacher, I have an obligation to say that, well, these conclusions just don't make sense. All right, now, in each group, you talked about the same problem, but each group may have come up with very different reasons for Holly to do one thing or the other. Harold, how about your
I
group?
think she's breaking her promise because she's kind of saving a kitten's life.
I think that she should keep her promise because a promise should be kept, but if she didn't, that would be bad.
When a child confronts a moral problem, of course it's important what he decides to do about it. But it's also important that he has good reasons for his opinion. I've learned that you don't always have to tell a child what's right. If you can help him toward more mature moral reasoning, he is likely to find a right solution on his own. There is so much children are prepared to learn. There is so much they can teach each other. But we as teachers need to accept the notion that values come from within each individual child.
Well, I still think that she should keep her promise. It's just
Like an animal against a word.
an
The animal is alive.